places.
Gosh! That one, oh my gosh! Come here, come here, come here! Oh my gosh!
Let's go, dude!
Dude! Look at that! Look at that thing! Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yes. Oh my gosh, what a
special. Got her, big. Don't you jump. That's an. Thank you.
Oh my God!
Yeah, 9. That one's for you, Papa Blue. You make a lot of really good friends on tour here, traveling around, and sometimes their just passed away this week. That one's for you, David. Oh. Pounders wandering around that land. Oh. There she is. No. Come here, come here. Oh, she might be 8. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I mean, that's not as good of a coal as the other one, but what a day.
Best of the best just got better. Clearer images, sharper resolution, improved target separation. That's right, better. LiveScope Plus, only from Garmin.
In a world where adventure meets innovation, where the thrill of the open water is met with the cutting edge of technology, introducing the all-new Skeeter Command Center, seamlessly integrated, effortlessly connected. Stay informed, stay in control, and command your dominance.
In the relentless pursuit of domination on the water, one name stands above the rest. TH Marine's Atlas Jackplate. The power behind champions since 2007. The driving force that propels you to victory. More winners choose Atlas. For the fisherman who demands the best, Atlas delivers. Because every move counts. More winners choose Atlas.
Professional angler Jason Christie knows the performance and feel of a reel in his hands is very important. And that's why he designed the new Spro JC Elite and JC Elite MG Baitcast reels to achieve both of those goals. The reels have 4 gear ratios for any technique, and the frame of each reel is the same size. So no matter which speed you use, they feel the same. 9 bearings, long casting, and loaded with power. Give the JC Elite and JC Elite MG a try this season.
It's definitely a lot colder today.
Man, I
I really need to make this cut.
I need to make up points quick.
Positive mental attitude.
I hope they stay where I found them.
Are they even pulling water?
Too far. And I hope nobody else.
Man, it's too windy.
The water's too high.
Avco, keeping you comfortable on the outside, no matter how you're feeling on the inside.
Introducing Live Ops from Nomad Design. Equipped with our all-new adjustable technology, allowing you to insert tungsten balls to unlock hundreds of rigging options. Control the action, control the sink rate, and increase your bait's visibility on forward-facing sonar. Dial in your own finesse approach and stand out from the rest with Live Ops.
It's the moment when everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. A relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Yes, it's that time of day. The Bassmaster Halftime Show is back in your life. And welcome into the beautiful Sunshine State here in beautiful sunny Florida. And it has been wonderful this week on Lake Okeechobee, one of the most fabled fisheries on earth. This is a bucket list location, and we saw yesterday why it is a bucket list location. Records falling. The 5 biggest fish weighed in. Davey Height got here via that airboat right there, and we are happy to have him joining us. But we saw the 5 biggest fish ever weighed in Okeechobee yesterday at Elite Series events, and the biggest individual fish weighed in. And I am so thankful for fine airboats like that, because it has brought Davey Height onto our set. Of course, joined by Kyle Jesse as always, and Davey Height, yesterday's weigh-in, I want more of that in my life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic to see. Obviously, Brandon Polnick stole the show with 34 pounds, 34.10, I think it was, the largest Elite Series single-day weigh-in. And to be here at Lake Okeechobee, and this icing on the cake was an 11.8 by David Gasson that came to the scales. Absolute beautiful fish, big eyes, and pouty mouth lips. I love fish that look like that.
Absolutely. We've seen the morning bite especially take off. You know, we talked about it on the live cast show. Bass Track, the first 2 hours of the day, the number of catches, over 100 catches, almost matched the number on day 1 with a 100 angler field. Starting to happen this morning. A lot of catches, a lot of action. I feel like we're going to see some more this afternoon.
Well, I'm not a proud man, so I will hook my bumper onto another man's success. And Brendan Polnick went off in a big way during the halftime show yesterday. Well, moments ago, guess what? The dinner bell started ringing again.
My face. Oh, gosh, dang it. Oh, woo. Not past the barb. We're in the clear. It's in my face mask, but it's in the boat. Look at that. See that one hook? That's why I was so nervous. This hooked good, but that's why I was so nervous. Look at my lip. My lip bleeding? Feels like it should be bleeding. Smoked me right in the face. Okay. Yeah, I feel like my face is bleeding. But dang, it was worth it. When she came up, she was like one thrash away from possibly throwing it. And I couldn't stomach that, so I'll take a punch to the face. 5-pounder. Nice. Number 5. Whew, that one got me shaking. That one got me shaking a little.
A little blood in the mouth doesn't hurt anybody. I mean, especially when you're catching 5-pound bass. Brandon Palnick, a major shot there, had about 13 pounds before that. That just got a whole lot better. But this is the story of his career. I mean, it seems like there is no good without a little bad. We're talking about a guy who 3 times has had a culling infraction that cost him a 2-pound penalty. I think 2 out of those 3 tournaments he ended up winning. And the very first win we saw with him on Bull Shoals, well, he didn't even fish all day, Davey Heights. I mean, he looks great there, pimple face, Brandon Palnick and all. But he spent a little time in the hospital, that's right, in the ER at Bull Shoals, getting a hook out of his hand.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was there. I remember that very well, and I used all of my time out on the water and couldn't come anywhere near catching the stringer that Brandon Palnick caught. So I will say, at that particular event, I was fishing the shoreline, so was the majority of the field. There were still a lot of fish up shallow in the bushes, and he was thinking ahead of the game, fishing offshore with a crankbait a lot, very similar to this tournament. A lot of the anglers here have been fishing the vegetation. You come to Florida, you fish shallow, you fish vegetation, and you see him doing most of his damage with a deep diving crankbait.
He's not the only one. You see that in the Bull Shoals Hospital. That's either the Wall of Shame or the Wall of Fame, whatever you want to refer to. But those have all been taken out of an angler at one time or another. But Brandon Palnick seems to find a way to it might not look pretty always, but it looks pretty in the weigh-in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible what he's done in his young career. And I've said day one, when I saw those 4 anglers there, you had to think those other 3 anglers, and they're all good. They're Elite Series fishermen. They're here for a reason. They're all good anglers. But when he pulled up, those other 3 had to say, wow, we didn't want him here.
Well, he's not the only one in the field. 50 anglers competing. Let's catch up with things in our midday report. And we'll start it off with a 2-time Bass Nation national champion. And don't forget, he also won an Elite Series event and battled it out with Brandon Palnick for that Elite Series win. And look what they're doing, battling it once again here on Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah, it really is amazing. Will Davis and Brandon Palnick, here they are. 2 of the 4 anglers that started up there where most of the big fish catching has gone down, other than David Gaston yesterday. But kudos to Will Davis Jr. He told Brandon, hey, I'm not going to be right there bumping boats with you. I'm going to stay in the area. And, hey, he got off to a great start, caught a limit earlier than anyone in the area. So kudos to Will Davis Jr. He's having a great tournament. And things like this come back to you in your career.
I'm sure he's not too upset about getting to catch him on a swim jig. Obviously, something he gets to do a lot there around the Coosa River, something he is, nearly perfected. So if you weren't going to go up there today, this is probably the second best thing to do, I would say. Just such a weird dynamic when you have almost a 10-pound difference from first to second, and then another 10 pounds between second and third. So obviously didn't make the run up there today, but who knows? Maybe he'll show up later.
Well, big things can happen on the Big O, and that's why it's got its name. And a big thing happened yesterday with David Gaston, 11-pound, 8-ounce fish that he hooked on day number 1, ended up losing that fish, knew it was there. Said when he first hooked it on day 1, he thought it was a log. Well, it looked like a log when he pulled it out of the weigh-in bag yesterday. And David Gaston knows a thing or two about a big fish, and he is currently in 2nd place.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a great tournament, but to have a chance to catch that fish the second day after he lost it yesterday, that's very unusual. Kind of one of those deals where you say it had to be meant to be for David Gaston. But being overshadowed, I know you enjoyed looking at those big fish like that, but it was almost just like, oh, yeah, that was a nice one. When you saw Brandon Palnick's 34 pounds, where he had 2 in there, it wasn't a whole lot smaller than that.
No, I mean, the ridiculous thing is David Gaston, his 11.8 was so big, we didn't even weigh one of Brandon Palnick's big fish for Phoenix Boats Big Bass.
Yeah.
Definitely a special day for him, and like you said, rarely does a day like that get overshadowed by anything, but obviously a great start for him today on Bass Track. 17-10, still has a 110 and a 2.5 in the box, so a lot of room to upgrade. We know how big that big bite is in Florida. If he gets one of those, he's gonna make a move.
Moments after it left the stage, I wanted to see it again, and we're going to see it again right now. Look at that. I mean, insert adjective there. There's a sweaty, angry, loud guy behind him yelling because I was legitimately that excited about that fish. It left the stage, and 30 seconds after, I'm like, I want to see it again.
Yeah, that's what makes it so fun to listen to you on the stage. You truly enjoy seeing those big fish like that, although you see so many. But look what a beautiful fish. I mean, size is certainly great, but that is a beautiful fish, the color, and just not a mark on it. Absolutely incredible.
Such a cool, calm, collective guy. He pulls up yesterday to weigh in, and he looks at all the photographers waiting for him, and he says, I got you one. Just as calm as could be. It was the greatest thing.
Well, our tournament leader put on an absolute show yesterday, and as we saw moments ago, that show is starting to happen here today. Brandon Palaniuk, one of the most historic days, I mean, to his career. He has so many incredible moments already. But wow, this is another chapter in that. Took the record from Ish Monroe. Ish might not have even known he had the record until he lost the record, but previously to this 34 pounds and 5 ounces, not anymore. Yesterday, 34 pounds and 10 ounces.
Yeah, it absolutely amazes me, and I know a lot of people that are watching, it surprises them too. If you look at the tournament weights here in the last month or so, and these anglers weren't able to do that, they can't get this information unless it's public for everyone. But I've researched, talking to some locals, and hey, this tournament here, that tournament here. It's not unusual to see an upper 20, lower 30-pound stringer winning these tournaments here, especially in the last 2 or 3 months. But what I don't think anyone expected, or not many people, certainly I didn't expect, Brandon Palaniuk's going to do that for 4 days. I've truly thought it would be around 80 pounds to win here for 4 days, because how are you going to go out and back up that 130-pound day? I think a lot of people thought it would be tough, maybe only have 10 pounds the next day, but he's on track to do it every single day. But maybe not 30, but upper 20s.
It's not super, it's not super common that you're watching highlights on Instagram, social media, wherever it might be, and you have to question if it's the same fish they just showed earlier, because 2 9-pounders within the same hour period, and then he backs it up with another 7+. It's like, it's kind of one of those things you can't hardly put into words.
Yeah. Well, something that we see happen in a lot of events, but we don't see it always play out successfully, is sharing water. And this has been very public. The Get Along gang has been hanging out, having a good time. Does that start to change at some point, Davey Height?
Well, I think they've already showed, just what true competitors they are, but gentlemen on the water. I mean, for Will Davis to back away from there, and honestly, you think, well, he was too far back to make a comeback. But when you see, in the first day, let's not forget, it was almost a 30-pound stringer weighed in.
Yeah.
So making that strong comeback is not out of the question here on this lake, and we see just because you catch 34 pounds doesn't mean you're going to go catch that again the next day. So to see Will Davis and a couple of those other anglers that were sort of close, see them want to do something different today and give Brandon a chance to win really isn't surprising. And also, I don't blame, not for 1 second, Greg DePalma. Hey, I'm 10 pounds back. We're only at halftime. I started there the first day also. So, I mean, I think it's gone as good as it can go. But you're right. Oftentimes, it does not end well when 4 people are basically trying to make one cast.
When you look at, both of those guys, to your credit, super high character guys, we all know that with Brandon Palaniuk and Greg DePalma. This morning at takeoff, Brandon Palaniuk could have just looked away, not even said a word to him. They were talking back and forth. Palaniuk told him exactly how he was setting up when he was catching those fish. This was the day we kind of expected that dynamic would change a little bit. It would go from, we're all doing it together to you're on your own. But, for him to do that this morning was really eye-opening, and certainly seen that, even on the water as they've communicated throughout the day.
You can't also fight the thought of, what if I had this to myself? We're seeing a Century Belt for sure happening out of that area, right, Davey?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, can you imagine if Brandon Palaniuk had this spot too? And not just him. I mean, I don't want to take credit from any of those other guys. If any one of those 4 that started there on the first morning would have had it to themselves. But here's something that I think most elite anglers know, that this 102, 103, 104-man field that we have, if you've got a school of fish like that offshore, more than one person's going to find them. They're just really good anglers, and they have great electronics. You're just not going to likely find something like that and have it to yourself in 2025 on the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Lots going on for one of the most fabled fisheries on Earth. This is a place you want to go. And the reason you want to go here is for one reason. Big fish, and no whammies. And we're going to talk about some of those records, some of the predictions, and some people were right and some people were very, very wrong. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Bassmaster Halftime Show.
This is the Quick Cube.
Quick Cube.
The Quick Cube.
The Quick Cube. The durability is my favorite thing about a Quick Cube. You can flip through them like a filing cabinet.
The clear window on these, I know exactly what's in there.
And I love this bag. I've got a bunch of them.
You know, if you want to squish them in a little bit, it's no big deal.
That zipper is watertight, floats. I can just drop it right in the water, and then I can pull it right back out again, and it's totally dry on the inside.
The iconic chatterbait, now reimagined. Introducing the Tungsten Evo. Engineered for precision with improved tactical feedback, a signature underwater sound, and the most advanced features in the chatterbait blade jig family. It's crafted for those who demand the best.
Hell yeah.
Join the new era of bass fishing with the Tungsten Evo.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure, and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
New York State's world-class waterways are an angler's paradise. With vast coastlines, thousands of rivers and lakes, and hundreds of fish species, New York offers some of the best fishing in the world. Your next big catch is just a cast away. Whether you're looking to break records or just enjoy a day on the water, you'll find it's easy to love New York. Reel in your next great adventure when you plan your fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Your eye on a new Yamaha outboard? Then get to your dealer now for the New Year, New Reliability Sales Event. For a limited time, purchase a new Yamaha 30 to 450 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of Yamaha coverage protection free. Or earn up to $200 in dealer credit on eligible 2.5 to 25 horsepower models. With amazing offers like these, Yamaha's New Year, New Reliability Sales Event has never been a better value.
25 years as a touring professional, I have depended on Gamakatsu my entire career to produce the sharpest and the strongest hooks. Known as a power fisherman, but yet if you're going to survive as a tour level pro, finesse is becoming more and more popular, regardless if we go north or we go south. So when you're choosing a hook, choose Gamakatsu. They have one for every technique and every body of water that you fish on.
All the way from Japan, it's taco time!
He has a good sense for the fishing. 7 years old, I play the bass fishing video game. Video game, very easy to catch bass. Oh, real bass fishing, very hard.
He's a natural.
I'm a tournament fisherman, but I always smiley and happy because fishing is fun.
Bassmaster Halftime Show presented by Bass Cat Boats. Welcome in. Lots going on out on Lake Okeechobee. What a fabled fishery it is, and it is showing out in a big, big way here this week. The second of two back-to-back Elite Series events to kick off the 2025 Bassmaster Elite Series. And this has been a good one, a big one last week on the St. Johns River, but they backed it up in a big way, and day two, lights out. And Davey, you might have said that it kind of skipped over you. You know, David Gassens didn't make an impact on you, but that big bass I'm still thinking about it right now. And Kyle Jesse, where does that rank?
Here at Lake Okeechobee in Elite Series competition, that breaks the record. That's the #1 biggest bass caught here at Lake Okeechobee. Not just by a small margin, 2 pounds and 3 ounces heavier than the next heaviest. That was caught by Tyler Carrier in 2017. Before that, in 2012, you have Kevin Van Dam's 814. And then just 2 years ago, Brandon Cobb's 812. So, I mean, not only broke that record, but shattered it. Wasn't even particularly close. And then, in addition to that, all-time Elite Series competition knocks into the top 10, knocked out Justin Hamner's 11.7 just a year ago at Lake Fork. Still the heaviest fish we've ever seen get caught on Bass Live, so he's got that going for him, but no longer a part of the top 10 all-time Elite Series single fish. So we'll see how long it stays.
Look at that top 10, and that just shows how incredible the 20 years of the Elite Series has been. Obviously at the top of that, 13 pounds, 2 ounces by Scott Campbell. Iconelli in second with 12.13.
Yeah, it's really incredible looking at that. You talk about the all-time Elite Series history. It would be interesting to see how many 10-pounders have been caught. A lot of them, but when you start getting that 11-pound class and up, especially obviously 11.8, they're just few and far between. I don't care if you're in California, Clear Lake, if you're in Falcon, or if you're at Lake Okeechobee. It doesn't matter. Those are hard to come by.
No question. And Davey, you were telling us yesterday that there was even some fish you think you caught, in I want to say Lake Falcon or Amistad that weren't even in the discussion because there were so many of them there.
Yeah, it was incredible that there was a couple of those tournaments, but I think that is an accurate list of, from 13.2 down to 11.8, but there's been a lot of 10.5, those 9, 10, and even low 11s that have been caught, just like you mentioned yesterday. How do you not weigh a Brandon Polnick's fish that looks like it's real close to 10 pounds? Because you just saw an 11.8.
Well, we would have waited if we hadn't already saw an 11.8.
Right, exactly.
You did have a little bet. We'll get into that in a minute. But I got to clear something up about that Falcon Lake tournament. I've always wondered because, you guys all lie. All professional anglers lie. It's just a thing. Nobody will say they're going to do good.
You're saying I'm a former liar?
No, you still lie. You still lie. You have not left that. That is you. It's the last thing to leave. They say the last thing to leave a heavyweight fighter is the power. The last thing to leave a professional angler is the lies, because it continues on. But I've always wondered, you guys it was so good that time at Falcon, untapped. What did you guys tell each other in the pre-tournament meeting? Were you just walking around with wounded hands from fish and just, I'm just catching 3-pounders?
It's funny that you say that, because I heard someone say something this morning that reminded me of that particular tournament. We haven't talked about this yet, but I heard it this morning, when guys were just, I hope I can catch 5, because you are just fishing for 6-pound plus bass. So you make up some excuse. I don't know if I'd call it a lie. You don't want to say, I'm going to be disappointed if I only catch 20. You just say, I just hope I can catch 5, because you're only fishing for 5-pound plus fish.
It's a lie still, Davey.
Well, it's just...
So if you don't want to call it a lie, what would you call it?
Not giving competitors information.
So you're still lying?
Not giving them information.
Okay. All right. Well, we did give a little information yesterday. We made some bold predictions, and we're going to go through those bold predictions. Right now, we're going to start off with Davey Height. You're Bass Fishing Hall of Famer, Bassmaster Classic champion. There's not a lot you haven't accomplished in life, and you made a bold prediction yesterday. You said, we will not see another 22-pound bag.
I did.
We saw not one,
not 2,
not 3,
not 4,
but 5 22-pound plus bags. Davey Height, what is wrong with you?
So I can take that. I said that. I admit it. I own it. But let's tell the whole story, because for some reason in the last week or so, we have people that do not like to tell the whole story.
Well,
and you have been one of them here the last few days. There's been a few more. They just want to tell their side. I think it was about 5 to 7 minutes before that, we were talking about who's your angler of the year pick. And because you have failed so greatly on your pick, Seth Fighter has had a bomb of a start. You have totally jinxed him. I made an educated decision to make the prediction that Patrick Walters would win.
Why
and
are
you
you
totally
you have
threw me
changed
under
this?
the bus because it wasn't a bold prediction like your dumb prediction. Next year, I'm predicting the Carolina Panthers to win the Super Bowl, and nobody will ever catch 22 pounds or more on Lake Okeechobee again. And then I'll be your hero because that's a bold prediction.
No, you have just used a lot of words, but not defended your decision at all. You said we wouldn't see it. We saw a lot of it.
I said I defended. I own up to it. I did it.
Even later,
but you peer pressured me into that.
I never peer pressured you into nothing. I never peer pressured you into nothing. Kyle Jesse, we had your prediction. What was it?
My prediction was that somebody from outside the top 50 after day one was going to make the cut. I thought that was a pretty bold prediction at the time. Really didn't know if that was going to be the case. I'm so used to being wrong that I was okay with doing that again. But Bob Downey saved me. Saved me.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
From 51st all the way up into 9th place. Massive day for him. Solid start this morning. Super thankful for Bob Downey making me look right. A couple anglers that were also close to sub 50. Jason Christie, Bo Browning, very close in that low to mid 40s range. Also jumped into the top 10, but Bob Downey saved me on this one.
Well, then it comes to my prediction, which, what'd you call my prediction? Dumb, Davey? Is that the adjective you used?
Probably was.
You
yeah.
were
Something
in
like
a fit of rage at
Something
the moment.
like that.
I've never seen this. A little. I mean, as far as I've seen, I mean, you were not happy. But I did predict. I mean, and I'll be honest, as the guy who yells stuff when they hold up the big fish, I wanted to see big fish. And I threw it out there and I said, we will see a double-digit fish at today's weigh-in, being yesterday. Well, not only did we see a double-digit fish, we see the biggest individual bass that has ever been weighed in on this body of water. And I will go as far as to say, I believe we had multiple double-digit fish, and we just didn't even take the time to weigh Brandon Polnick's fish. So
what a bold prediction. We're in Florida. The weather is great. It's February. And you predicted a double-digit fish. Wow.
At that point,
you really went out on a limb, didn't you?
We have been in Florida for 5 days, and we hadn't seen a double-digit fish, Davey Height, and a body of water where we generally see more double-digit fish. We left there without any. I think it was somewhat bold, and I think you are sour.
All the more reason we were due to see one.
You are sour. You are sour. You're a very good champion, but a horrible loser, and not great at predicting things.
Okay, I own it.
Oh.
I gave in to peer pressure. I admitted it. I keep admitting everything, and you just won't let it go.
Well, I'm relishing in it. I had to live with you for a long time. You've accomplished a lot in your life. I've literally done nothing but move the hole that makes the words. I will take this victory, and I will ride it to greatness. So, yeah. The bold predictions were a lot of fun, and we'll have a little fun when we come back. We're going to be joined by our guest angler, Bernie Schultz, and Davey Height. You'll get a chance to regale us with your greatness. You're 0-4 in the casting competition. Let's see how that works out here in a minute.
Discover the hidden gems and pristine waters of Tennessee's B.A.S.S signature lakes. Conveniently located throughout Tennessee, there's a signature lake near you, covering all regions of the volunteer state, all endorsed by the legendary Bill Dance himself. Whether it's a weekend getaway or an extended vacation, create timeless memories at Tennessee's Bill Dance signature lakes. Plan your trip today. Lights, sonar, action. Tired of waiting? See more action with world-class fish finders and sonar from Lowrance.
These fired-up next-gen machines are engineered like no other. Precision-tuned to excel under pressure, B.A.S.S boats have revolutionized what quality, performance, innovation, and a true rough water ride can be. Check out the long list of advantages at BASSboats.com. After all, some things turn your head, others ignite your soul.
That is a tugboat.
That's a giant.
Bring it back. That's like a steam. Bring it back. Look at that gun on that thing. Bring it back. Bring it up. What a nice fish.
Have you considered purchasing new electronics for your rig? The type of mounts you choose to protect your investment should be part of the decision-making process. No matter if you prefer 1, 2, or 3 graph mounts up front, Beatdown Outdoors has a solution for you. Adjustable, versatile, rigid, and made in the USA. What's your ultimate electronics setup? Check out the full selection of Beatdown Outdoors products, and remember, you can't beat a beatdown.
Bassmaster Halftime Show presented by Bass Cat Boats, and joined by Bernie Schultz, a 9-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier and a Lake O expert, a Florida expert, and been a pretty special week here this week, Bernie.
Yeah, it was a little rough on me, but these guys are catching them, and the lake's showing what it's got. You know, there's big fish in here. They're moving to the bank. They may have been there the whole time. I'm not sure there was a big wave moving in like a lot of guys are claiming. They just may be dormant in the areas where they're fishing, and now they're suddenly, you know, the water temperature rises and they get more active.
So you've got so much experience here. I've been coming here a good while, but not as much as you, being from Florida especially, the number of times you've been here and through the years. And it amazes me. And we've seen this lake high and low. Yeah. You know, it's not like we've never seen it this level. We've seen it, you know, higher or low. Does it surprise you, even as long as you fished here and as much experience as you have here, how it seems like every event we have here is one in a different, I shouldn't say a different area, but most times a different way, a different bait, someone doing something just totally different, and it's hard to come back the next year and repeat that.
Yeah, it seems that's kind of true for most of the places we go. There's very few lakes or rivers, reservoirs, whatever, that repeat, you know, the same areas. General areas, yeah, but specific areas, no. It seems like there's always a new twist on each event.
So like, and just because we're talking about, I remember the tournament, Ish Monroe had the 34.5, and there was a lot of big fish caught that event. A lot of those records that we've been talking about. So I just think about that tournament compared to this one, because those two records, the all-time single day and the biggest fish, were both broke yesterday, and I think they were held from that tournament in those years. And it was basically the same time of the year, and it was all flipping and pitching and, you know, swim jigging, and now you're guys deep cranking. It's just so different.
Yeah, he's kind of a phenomenon in his own right. I mean, he always finds a way to do something different from the field, to separate himself from the field, and he's done that well here. I'm actually rooming with two of the guys that were in the top 4, Doobie and Davis, sharing that water with him the first few days. So that was interesting to me. I actually went up there and practiced, but I didn't go as far into that chute. I just checked the point that separates that chute from the main Kissimmee River. So I was that close, but yet so far. But yeah, the lakes, it changes, but it still produces. And I wouldn't give up on the guys fishing, you know, out in the lake proper, where the reed beds are and the grass beds are. Something miraculous could happen there.
So you really think someone else got a chance?
Sure, I do.
I know the tournament's not over, but I mean, we don't see margins of lead. You know, he was 20 pounds over second place this morning when he took off.
I know.
But you don't think there's...
Well, he'd have to fall flat on his face, and somebody would have to have 2 killer back-to-back days, but it is possible.
Wow.
Davey, you just really want to ruin the weigh-ins. I mean, there'll be no 22-pound bags. Nobody's got a shot in this tournament. Why do you hate me?
I'm just trying to be real. You accused me of not telling the truth in the last segment.
Well, no, I mean, all right. Well, one thing's not the truth. I said that you guys were going to cast together, but what has happened to you? Bring in a designated caster? Is that what I'm hearing, Davey Heights?
I'm not saying anything because I've been wrong so much. But hey, I think everyone, our viewers, if you've been watching the last few days, would probably like to see someone other than me compete against our guest here. So we have, another Elite Series pro,
a ringer, of course,
a ringer,
yeah, young and agile.
All right, well,
and I got to beat this guy. That's going to be a challenge.
I think you got a shot, Bernie. I got faith in you. Let's put the mics down. Let's pick up the rod and go over here, and we'll have a look. Brock Mosley. Brock is already set up.
No practice.
Brock is going to be casting first.
You mean you haven't
How
been
are you
watching
feeling
the
about your
halftime
odds
show?
here, Brock?
I don't know if I want to hit the bell or see how good that face shield works.
Hey, believe you me, the face shield is pretty fun.
All right, here's the deal. You got 1 minute. All right, 1 minute. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
You're laughing.
I mean, so.
So I shot in competition when I was in the military.
Very
and you always
close.
had a spotter. I'm gonna tell you, you're high. You've been 6 to 18 inches high. Well, that one was about 24 inches. You need to bring down your Kentucky windage. Oh, there we go. That one's only about 4 inches high.
30 seconds in.
Aim low, bro.
Halfway there.
I'm your spotter, buddy. Now we're getting close.
Close, much closer. 20 seconds left.
There we go.
Was that
now
it, Bowman?
we got the elevation.
15 seconds.
Oh,
very close. Just
he's
high.
all around that
10
X now.
9.
Come on.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
thumb?
2, 1.
Oh, your thumb's bruised from catching so many bags.
Yeah. When I lost a Roland Martin, I didn't make an excuse about a bruised thumb now.
Trials and tribulations.
I'm worried about hitting the shield, let alone the bell.
All right. I think you can hit the shield.
This has been the.
It's actually been easy for everyone to hit Steve Bowman, including myself.
Steve Bowman, are you still conscious?
Contest.
What?
This is a very bad contest. Bernie, please, for the love of God, save this contest because this is going to go down as truly one of the worst ideas ever in television history. Nobody hits this.
Remember, 0 to tie, 1 to win.
I got it. I think I got that.
All right, 1 minute starting. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh,
Very close. He had it right out of the gate.
The old Florida fishing's coming out of him. He's slow and smooth and easy.
That's one. That's one. Keep going. Let's see what you got. Keep going.
1 now, head on.
6 from Carl Jocumsen is the record. Yeah.
9, an Australian who had never fished a jig till he was 27 years old. Comes from a land that has bass, but they're not the same bass he fishes for.
That one hit? That's 2.
But a menace.
We never had another competitor give him credit for
3.
this one when it was that close, Brock.
The jig skirt's helping out the cause. 20 seconds left.
My word.
Just missed it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the buzzer. No good. 3.
Hey, margin of victory does not give you any extra cash. A victory is a victory.
Davey ought to give it a try. Let's see if Davey still got it. Hand me the mic.
Throwing you in, Davey. I had nothing to do with this. Absolutely nothing to do
All
with
I'll
this.
say is I wouldn't be afraid to compete against you at this point, Brock.
Oh, wow.
They've already put it up.
Davey's got the rock.
Hey, my thumb is bruised.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. Congratulations, Bernie. Davey, you did what you're out of it, I guess. Brock, good try. Brandon Polnick's probably catching 8-pounders right now. We will catch up on that in just a few minutes. We'll be back here for the Bassmaster halftime show with Bo Knows and all sorts of big bass from the Big O in just a few minutes' time.
greatest adventure is what lies ahead. When the water calls, we have decisions to make. Figure out what works and what doesn't. Then move on to what's next. Knowledge is earned. It gives back. We live it. We know. Where innovation meets the water. Engineered for every condition. FXR Pro Fish, built to perform. Made to conquer.
What a time to be live. Humminbird's new Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar is your front row seat to every epic catch, unfolding as it happens, with more clarity than ever before. Decipher between dinks and diamonds in the brush. Choose between 15 color palettes and 3 views. Zero in with enhanced bait tracking and marvel at all the jaw-dropping detail. New Mega Live 2. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
This is insane. Woo! What?
The water demands power, and anglers seek a portable, efficient system built to take them further. That's where Newport delivers. Make long runs, reach untouched waters, and fish where others can't. Explore beyond the beaten path with confidence. Power your water, your way. Newport.
The new Buka brand 6-inch trick shad, designed by renowned swim bait creator Mike Buka, is proof that some baits just have a little extra magic. Thanks to Buka's experience and knowledge, the trick shad stands out as a value offering that has the look and action to attract big bites and the components to ensure you land them. Featuring must-add triple grip hooks, a replaceable tail, and swivel hook hangers, the 6-inch trick shad is available in 10 gorgeous colors.
The newest addition to the Basscat STS family is here. Introducing the Caracal STS, showcasing aggressive styling, paired with enhanced performance and a continued dedication to raising the bar. Measuring in at 20 feet 2 inches with an ultra-wide 96-inch beam and rated for a 250 to 300 horsepower engine, the Caracal STS boasts agility and speed and is finished with premium features to satisfy any angler. Basscat Boats. Feel the rush.
And now your action weather broadcast. We've got shifting weather conditions on the horizon. Expect high winds, scattered thunderstorms, cold fronts, and dense fog. It's a wild one out there.
Toyota Trucks. Let's go places.
Bassmaster Halftime Show presented by Basscat Boats here in beautiful Lake Okeechobee. Our tournament leader, Brandon Polinick. What a week he is. Well, what a week they're having. Giddy up. I mean, that's where we need to be. Never mind this swanky set. Let's go out in the pontoon and have a good... Me and Davey have had some good times on pontoons, sometimes even in the rain.
Yes, we have. Never forget the muskie trip we had that time.
We did. I wasn't even including that, but things do go wrong, and as you see right here, our tournament leader, although everything seems so right, it almost went so wrong. Almost had that BKK treble lodged in his face.
The cool thing to me that he said, though, is I don't care. I'll take one in the face. I'll take a punch to the mouth. I needed that fish in the live well, so he's smiling the whole time. Not many people be smiling with a hook in their mouth.
Well, one group of people that will smile with a hook anywhere near them is a professional angler. Whoa, look at this. Let's go to the throwback machine. Who's that guy? Davey Height, hooked in the leg. Look at those calves, first of all. Wow.
Yeah, that's a younger Davey Height for sure. Quick story on that. That was my first AOY year. I was last boat to take off in the Classic. 41 boats followed me to that spot, and that was the first fish that I swung in the boat. I was a little nervous, to say the least. I can promise you that.
Wow.
Deep little in action, it looks like.
Deep little in. Nailed it. You nailed it.
You have all the patches on that jersey.
Those were embroidered.
Oh, wow. Calves are popping.
One step above.
Calves are popping, but it looks good.
They still have that footage.
Oh, we got it. If it's humiliating, they will find it. Well, speaking of humiliating, the award-winning segment that is known as Bo Knows. Steve Bowman, what does Bo know here today?
Bo knows that 11.8 set the big bass yesterday is a magical, mysterious, and almost historical number.
Really?
Because what most people don't know, that Bo knows, 2005, the first year of Bass Track, 11.8 was the first weight entered in Bass Track.
Come on.
I'm going to take
Who
you
caught
back.
it?
We were on the Ohio River. Aaron Martin's Marshall put a 1.8 in as a 11.8. And it sent his pen and the world into frenzy. There was an 11, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's Ohio River. Okay, that's not an 11.8, but it took him a while to get it done. But the 11.8 was a nightmare for me for a while. But that part of that is an 11.8.
I believe Bo is the only person on earth that knows that stat.
I do know.
Even Bo knew that on the Ohio River there was something wrong.
Oh, there's it. Doesn't add up. Because an 11.8 would actually break the state record for 22 states in the United States today. So not just 2005. So also know that 11.8. Y'all talked about it. Number 2, 11.8 is 10th in the list, but there's been 75. That makes the 75th double-digit bass caught since 2005, not counting Aaron Martin's 11.8, but 75. And if you think about that, as many years as both of y'all have been here, we just don't, it doesn't feel like we see them that often. But that's 75 of those. And I know that number 3, Davey Height, appears twice on that top 75 list, and he will argue that he needs to be on there 3 times.
See, we give you a little love.
I do appreciate that, but
he needs it today.
I will absolutely argue that there's 3 double-digit fish by Davey Height. And
but you're not on the list.
If Davey remembers one thing, it's the biggest bass he ever caught while fishing a Bassmaster event. I can tell you the bait, the tournament, the day. I can take you to the foundation on Falcon Lake where I caught an 11.1.
Mm-hmm.
But there were so many 10, 11, 12-pound bass being weighed in, I can understand.
It's kind of like
got lost in the shuffle.
But he did. He had a 10.2 at the St. John's in 2014, and you had a 10-pounder clear at Clear Lake, 10.0. So the man is no stranger to double digits.
See, he's here to build you up. Bo knows how to
break me down.
No, your picks break you down. I mean, I love you, you know that, but I can't control the fact that you tried to rain on my entire way, and there'll be no 22-pound bags, and there was not 1,
not 2,
not 3,
not 4,
but 5 22-pound plus bags.
I think that was a big reason for your excitement when you actually saw those weights come in, because you believed me when I said no big stringers.
I did. I will be honest. I did get a little extra excited when I saw Gaston's fish, because I'm like, there's no way that's not a 10-pounder. But thank you, Steve Bowman. Great stuff as always from Bo Knows. We made some picks earlier in the week, fantasy fishing. Talk to me about it, Kyle Jesse.
That's exactly right. That's where we're going to go right now, and it's going to transition from giving Davey a hard time to, I'm afraid, giving me a hard time.
Okay.
We made some TH Marine Pick'em Challenge picks, and starting off, number 1, the Canadian Clash.
Didn't
Jeff
like
Gustafson
this.
versus Cooper Gallant. The idea was that we had to make Mercer pick one Canadian versus the other. He picked the right one. Unfortunately, he did pick Cooper Gallant, who finished in 42nd, and I picked Jeff Gustafson, who unfortunately for me and him finished 81st. So, moving on to the second matchup, Battle of the Brandons. This is a runaway.
And Cobb was the runaway favorite going into this. He's got a strong track record, right?
I'll be honest.
I didn't do that, though.
I thought your call on this one was a little bold after what we saw Brandon Cobb do here just a couple of years ago. Palaniuk has struggled here. Some of his worst Elite Series finishes have been here. But you rolled the dice. You went with Brandon Palaniuk, and I don't know, he's probably only ahead of Brandon Cobb by about 47 pounds right now, if I had to guess. That's not an exact estimate, but has to be pretty close. Matchup number 3. The you think matchup? And I still think if you haven't watched that video to this point, you're missing out big time. You'll get a big kick out of that. Seth Feider versus Matt Robertson. Mercer appears like you had Seth Feider, and I had Matt Robertson. This was the closest matchup that we picked. Robertson in 79th place and Feider in 73rd. So that was the tightest matchup towards the bottom of the leaderboard, unfortunately for both those guys, but you got that one right too. So the best I can tell, that's a big fat 0 for 3 for me and a 3-0 for you. So congratulations.
It's a good day to be Dave. Not a great day to be Davey, but it's a good day to be Dave.
Thank God you're finally wearing the rust off of that bell, because you haven't been able to ring it very much this year.
No. What? Are you going to talk about ringing bells? You, of all people, are going to talk about ringing bells. I don't even know what that sound is. Oh, always good times on the halftime show. Coverage going to continue. Lots going to happen this afternoon, I imagine. Okay. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Davey Heights. Always ready with an expert comment to help his friend out. Let's look at somebody who always brings it. Brandon Palaniuk. I cannot see this fish catch enough, and I think we're going to see more of it.
Yes. Maybe. I promise it, though.
She grew up fast. Will she remember these times and continue the tradition?